All right, this video is going to show you how to actually calculate, both create a graph and how to calculate statistics using Desmos. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you how to use that. Here's the Desmos screen. When you look at this Desmos screen, you can see it starts off. You always go to www.desmos.com/calculator. It gives you your basic screen here, and it has a command window in the upper left-hand side. And you can actually have different commands you're going to put in. So we're going to number one, we're going to type in some data. So I've got a list of data. This list of data happens to be grades. So I'm going to go ahead and type these lists in. And I got to give it a name. So I called it L. You can call it anything you want. Usually it's just one letter you want to use. But I'm going to do L equals. And then in brackets, even though it's a set, I'm going to do brackets. And I'm going to type in my data values. So I'm going to have a 72. And then I'm going to put a comma before I type my next one. So the 92, comma, 82, then 73, 63, 50, 90, 71, and 82. You're going to notice it now tells me my L has 9 elements in there, and you can see I have 9 numbers put in. It already has the closed brackets, so I don't need to worry about putting that on. And now I'm ready to start doing some graphs or some other calculations. So my graph I might want to do is a histogram. So I can actually just start typing in the word histogram because that's what I want to do. I want a histogram of my data in L, and then I press it. And you notice that I automatically drew it for me. So I have this beautiful graph of my histogram, shows some information. I can actually have it do the count like it's doing right now, where it tells you what count is here. I can have it tell me my relative count, which is my relative frequencies. Density is not really working on this one, but that's okay. I can also have it align with my left or right. I'm sorry, left or center. I prefer left, personally. I also notice my bars look kind of weird. I've got a bunch of gaps in here. It'd be nice if my bin width was a little bit smaller. The default is to have my bin width be 1. I might want to pick, let's say, 5. And then when you check 5, put comma 5 in there, you can see your bins, your bars are a bit tighter. They've got more data in there. I don't know if I like that 5 as much because I said these are grades. So it might be nice to have them every 10. So I'm going to type in 10. And the reason I like that is because it shows me that between 50 and 60, I had 1 grade. Between 60 and 7, I have 1. Between 7 and 80, I had 3. Between 80 and 90, I had 2. And between 90 and 100, I had 2. So I wanted that one only because these are grades. Otherwise, I could have picked a different bin width. You also might want to zoom fit because it may not have looked perfectly like this for yours. So you click on the little thing, magnifying glass that says zoom fit. It will fit it for the window, for the data. So there's my histogram. Another graph I can create is a box plot. So I'm going to type in the word box plot because that seems to make sense that that's what that would be. Again, I want to type it as L because that was a name I called my list. And you can see I now have the box plot printed right on top of my histogram. If you don't want the box plot on your histogram, you can turn the histogram off by just clicking on the little circle next to histogram. It turns it off, and now you just have your box plot. If you want to, you can copy these. You can copy the histogram, you can copy the box plot, and paste them into a Word document or a Google Doc. And the way you do that is you come up here to where it says shared graph. If you hover over it in the upper right, you'll see it says shared graph. Click on that. You can copy this link, and what that will do is just be able to go directly back to this Desmos calculator that you created. So if you want to, that's a good way to do it. You can also embed it, so you can actually copy and embed that into it. I prefer actually importing the image. It'll exporting the image. It'll export it into your downloads, and then you can put it in Word or Google Doc. So it's up to you which way you want to do that. And again, I can do it with either graph. I can do it with both graphs together. Whatever is displayed will get exported. Let's say I want to do something different. Let's say I want to now do some statistics. So I would like to maybe find the center. One center is the mean. So if you just type the word mean, you're going to see now once I put L in there, it tells me my mean is a 75. If you prefer the measure of a center as the median, you can type the word median, and it will give you that and tell you it's 73. If you want to find the variance, you type in var for variance, and you'll see that it gives you what the variance is. Now you can find the standard deviation same way. You could also, by the way, you could just take the square root of that variance because that is what the standard deviation is. Or you can type in what the standard deviation is. But unfortunately, standard deviation is not just as nice as standard deviation. It doesn't work. So if you can't remember what standard deviation is, if you click on, if you select the button that says show keypad down in the lower left, it'll show you the keypad that exists for Desmos. And this is true on a computer, on an iPad, on a phone. And you just go to functions. And you may have tabs that you have to go through to get to trig or statistics. On my computer, it actually gives me as just listing of them. So I can list down till I find the word statistics. You can see mean is there, median is there. Some other things are also there. But there is STDEV, and that stands for standard deviation. So we're going to click on standard deviation, STDEV, put L in there to tell it what the list is, because you can have multiple lists. And so I want it to be for L, and it tells me what my standard deviation is. Another thing I might want to find is my 5-number summary. So again, if I go through that list, I don't see anything that looks like 5-number summary. That doesn't seem to be one of the choices I have. But I will let you know that STATS, stats, is your 5-number summary. So if you click on stats, it'll put it in your command. You type in L to tell it what list, and there's your 5-number summary, which is what creates this nice, beautiful little box plot we have over here. So that's how you can get these created from Desmos.